So we're here at the Hotel Castilla Alcazar. Got checked in. We're room number 593. Tracy's already in there, so she's going to let me in, aren't you, Tracy? There we go. Look, service with a smile. This is a standard plus room view, park view room. So you've got obviously your staples such as a bed and furniture and things like that. It's all very rustic. It's very medieval. Some nice sort of arts and stuff. One of the things that we immediately were sort of drawn to was the shower. It's one of the things that we love in a good proper bathroom is the fact that it's essentially a deep dish with a rainfall on the top.
Yes, and it has movable sink shower doors because you can get these rooms with a cot if you've got a child with you. So that is ideal for putting your child in at the end of the day if they need a bath before bed.
Yeah.
Without getting yourself soaked.
Yes, because we were looking around and in the cupboard they've got specific storage for nappy bins and things like that. Obviously a sink and there's us. Hello. And then we'll go and show you the park view, which was the bit that I was most excited about.
Oh, a little balcony.
Yep, we've got a little balcony. Obviously the door opens, which is lovely. There we go. We've got Worden and such, and nice views of the park. Can't argue with it being a park view room. So looking forward to having something to eat later on. I'm going to see how that's like. Let you know what that's like after that lot.
Hello.
So we're here after having had some tea at the Castilla buffet, and just sort of run through that a little bit. It's a buffet, as you would expect, and I don't quite know what sort of theme you would put it under.
No, I would definitely say that it is kind of Spanish, Mexican, that kind of vibe. Bit of Greek and that thrown in.
There's a lot in there, isn't there? But it's, if you squint really, really hard, it's not far off something like a Rhodesia or one of those Brazilian kind of restaurants where they walk around with skewers. They don't walk around with skewers, but they have meat on skewers and they cut it off and whatnot, and you can have it, and it's delicious.
Yes.
But there was all sorts in there to try, weren't there?
Yeah, full salad bar that had new stuff on we hadn't tried before, cheese bar.
Yep.
Then you had kind of main courses like stews and stuff like that, and ribs, and then you had like a meat section, and then there was a dessert section as well. And I will admit that the cost of €48 per head without drinks will probably outprice a lot of families. But if you're coming here, if you've known about it and you've saved up for it, I would well recommend, just based on that one restaurant alone, that you save and you do at least one restaurant here. Because the service was phenomenal, the food was phenomenal. We ain't got anything bad to say about that place. And like I say, we tried some new stuff that I'm sad I go, ooh, this is good.
I was going to say, I tried a date wrapped in bacon, which is just like a pig in blanket.
And a chicken heart.
A chicken heart, which I don't particularly like eating bits of animals that are not sort of normal, if you will. But it wasn't unpleasant. I wouldn't do it again. But the salad was tasty. The barbecue beans, barbecue spare ribs, and it was just pleasant. And then as we were just sort of getting finished up, and I feel bad for this. Brought a mariachi band.
Like absolutely stoked, because there was like 2 guitar players and
a harp.
And a harpist as well, and it was just like, we should have booked in later for this.
But it was quite pleasant, good atmosphere, a bit warm. That's the only thing you could really sort of mention. The hotel itself, moving on from tea, it's sort of combined really. The hotel atrium is just a very nice place to be, and then it splits off to another hotel. I can't remember which one it is, and then there's ours, which is the Hotel Castilla Alcazar, based on a medieval castle.
And proper kind of Spanish Mexican style medieval castle, like you'd see, and potentially would be out of place in like Mask of Zorro, your kind of old spaghetti westerns, that kind of situation. Your Latino love stories. Think of that, and you've got this place down to a T. It is phenomenal looking, like even down to the suits of armour that are in the hall before you get to the lift. It's just a really pleasant place to be. They've done, you put a lot of effort into this place.
And yeah, I can't wait to see what breakfast's like in the morning.
Yeah,
We've
we are
come-
now excited for breakfast.
Yeah, we've come to the El Soco bar as well. It's got some cocktails. This one's a Europa Park special, which in essence is a what is it? A pina colada. But it's not. It's really tasty. And what you got?
And I've gone for a simple sex on the beach, but I have to say they're really, really good. These were about 11.50 euros each, which again is on the pricier side, but they are handmade in front of you, so you can't complain for that. But obviously you are not going to get white girl wasted on these. They also do have a massive range. There was 2 pages dedicated to whiskey alone in the drinks menu, which that's absolutely staggeringly mind-blowing.
Yeah.
They've also got a really good variety of non-alcoholic and soft drinks as well. And that was easily another page and a half, which was really nice to see that they've balanced out all the alcohol with non-alcoholic stuff if you're that way inclined.
Yeah, no, there is something for everybody. Exactly the same with tea, there was something for everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've catered very well for everybody. They will charge you for it. But after the day we've had in the park, I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm being ripped off. I feel like I'm paying more for this to prop up the park, which I absolutely do not mind at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, we at the moment we can't recommend Hotel Castilla Alcazar enough.
Exactly.
It might change in the morning.
And a sauna as well. We've
Yeah.
not tried them out, but as we are next to a adjoining hotel, you can see in the back of us. That's what essentially the pool is like. It's an outdoor pool. It's unheated, but just sitting here, it sounds really, really nice.
Yeah, I've been on holiday to exotic destinations like Mexico and Turkey and stuff like that. And even though we're in what can be described as
Germany.
West Germany, we're nowhere near the Mediterranean or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's quite pleasant. It's not freezing.
Yeah.
They've got the sound of the pool, bars, and you can hear music going in the background. It really does feel like you're on holiday.
Sconces with fire in as well.
Yeah, it's just generally pleasant. So yeah, I really do actually feel like I'm on holiday. And I think with that, we're going to wrap that one up for tonight. Might add some more on in the morning with breakfast and such like that, and then that will conclude the Hotel Castilla Alcazar.
It will indeed.
See you in the morning. No, it's not. That's the Santa Isabel.
There we go.
Now we're in room 593. So looking at that, you think.
Hello.
Hello.
The day 2, morning 2, sorry,
Yes.
of day 3 here at Europa Park. So we're just going to finish off the hotel sort of parks. Obviously, we've now had breakfast twice.
Yeah.
And breakfast is quite extensive.
It is, yes. We were not expecting a Phantasialand style layout with breakfast. You've got sausages, you've got eggs, 3 different ways, croissants, fruit,
Bread.
you've got to make your own muesli bar. There is cereal for the children as well. And one thing I really, really did like was the fact that they've catered for vegan and lacto-free guests as well. And they've got their own separate kind of section for the most part for like the dairy and stuff like that, which was really nice. I
Yep.
liked that because it meant that I did have to have full fat milk.
Yeah, no, it's been quite tasty, and I think I prefer breakfast out of everything because I don't normally have breakfast at home. It's not normally something I'm bothered by, but obviously when you pay for it here and you've got time, you might as well go and have some breakfast. And yeah, it's all very tasty. Do particularly like their, I think they're boiled sausages, and yeah, I just like those.
Yeah.
But yeah, breakfast is good. So is it served from 7 until 9? I think it is
7 till 10.
7 till 10.
Yeah.
So you can get in quite early. And on that as well, the pool, it seems, opens sometime around 7 o'clock as well, because we've got a view that goes straight over the pool. So, yeah, if you want to get in the pool and then go to breakfast, you can very easily do that before park opens.
Yeah.
At 8:30 for park guests. We'll show you our little journey that we've got. I picked this hotel specifically because looking on maps, it was the closest to the park entrance, because whenever we've done these things, we always pick the hotels or accommodation that's not the most convenient.
Yeah.
So I did a bit of research on this one, and yeah, we literally walk out of the hotel, do 2 lefts, bit of walking, and then we're at the park entrance into Spain, which is wonderful. There is also, they do offer a what is it called? A purchase to room.
Yes. So they do a shopping service. Now, a lot of the big parks across the continent and the world offer this, where essentially you buy something before 3:30 it is, and you can ask them to send it back to your hotel, and they send it back to the hotel reception. You pick it up later. Absolutely phenomenal service. We've been using this a lot for photos.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to pay an extra 20 cents for the bag it goes in.
That's it, yeah.
But
The service is free.
the service itself is free. And I think it's a really, really good service, because then you're not carting stuff around all day. And with photos especially, like yesterday, we were doing the water rides.
You don't want to get wet.
So the photos went back to the room because it was easier, because then they didn't get damaged.
The only thing that we will say on it, it hasn't failed us yet. But some of the retail outlets, they don't quite know how it works, because it's a new system to them. It's not that they don't know what they're doing. It's a new system from the sounds of it. Because yesterday we had we were at Poseidon getting the photo sent back to the room, which felt really awkward. It's just a photo that we're getting sent. It's not like we spent hundreds of euros. And they ended up having to get another person to come over. And then even he was on the phone trying to figure out how to sort of organise it.
They eventually sorted it, and they were absolutely lovely about it. But that was a couple of the smaller kiosks that don't get as much foot traffic. So be aware of that one. But it's one of them. It's not a major issue. Like,
it really
we were
isn't
fine.
now, but other than that, beds are very comfortable.
Yes.
The pillows are, I think they're goose feather or something like that. They're not your standard polyester filled ones. They are very squishy, but they're also firm enough as well. I don't particularly like too firm pillows, but I like too soft, like that in between, and they're just lovely.
Yeah, and the rooms themselves, like there's 2 of us with a lot of stuff, and we've got enough room to spread out and have our own little areas without being on top of each other. And this is before the quilts. You're in a double bed, but you've got a quilt each, which is really nice and makes all the difference.
Yeah,
I do like that continental
no stealing.
way.
Actually, yeah, that's what I will say. There's been no quilt stealing, and nobody's been invading each other's side of the bed. In fact, at times I felt like I've been in a double bed on my own. It's been lovely because of that, and I don't mean that as any horrible things to Tracy or that, but bedtime is my time. But yeah, they're very comfortable. We have had a bit of issues with the room temperature in that when we came in on the first night, it was astronomically warm. We needed to cool it down, so we tried to get the air conditioning to work, and it took about 4 or 5 attempts for it to stay on. And when it stayed on, it got the room to a very cold temperature.
But if you know how to work air conditioning stuff in hotels, you'll be perfectly fine. We just don't. That's on our problem as opposed to a hotel problem.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. But the door, it opens fully or it tilts. So if you've got your visor down, you can have the door tilted, and it means you can get that fresh air in, as we did last night. We didn't have the air conditioning on at all, and that was ample. So yeah, rooms are wonderful, food's wonderful, eating's great. Tonight we're gonna have a go in the next hotel over.
At their buffet.
Yeah, so it's the Hotel Corsio, which I'm just looking at because it's right there. Italian buffet. So we're looking forward.
I suppose to be fair, once again, that's the only kind of minor complaint we've got about Europa Park is everything is wonderful, but they could do with some mid and lower price tier options for food. Because last night we decided to essentially go it cheap, and I had a burrito before we went back to the room. Dave had a hot dog, which fair enough, that did us because we did have a later lunch yesterday, which isn't a problem. But if you haven't brought food with you, yes, all right, there is a little supermarket literally 2 minutes up the road, so you've got something on the doorstep. But at the same time, I'd have liked to have gone down to the restaurant and maybe had a meal that was somewhere around between the 10 and 20 euro mark.
Not even a meal, just snacks. A snack.
Or just some snacks kind of thing. That's the only kind of gripe that I have with this place. Other than that, it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and following on from that, it would be. I suppose it'd be nice to have almost like a coffee shop, so you could go and you can get a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. Because to my knowledge, there's nowhere that does that.
Yeah.
You know, from, as I said to Tracy last night, from 6 o'clock park closing, and this is a very British problem, to 7 o'clock this morning, you can't get a cup of tea.
Yeah, because there's no, like a lot of continental hotel rooms, there's no tea or coffee making facilities in the room.
Yeah, which, I mean, it's not the be all and end all.
No.
But last night I was gasping for a cup of tea. Would have loved a proper one and couldn't get one. It's not spoiling anything. Nothing that we're saying that sounds negative is spoiling anything at all.
No.
Still absolutely fine. But yeah, having a coffee shop or something like that sells, like, you know, sandwiches and cakes, obviously coffee, would be ample, I think. But
just a quick interjection from the future. As it turns out, there are actually places for you to get teas, coffees, and smaller bites. We didn't find this out until after we'd already left, but it turns out that the Serco bar does do small bites such as toasties and things like that. It just wasn't in the menu when we looked, so I presume it was just operating as a bar at the time we went. But also, when we went over to have a look at food in the Hotel Colosseo, we found that there was a bar there as well, called the Commedia dell'Arte, which sells similar sort of things, you know, smaller bites, teas, coffees. It's an Italian sort of cafe, so there is places to go.
going to wrap up the hotels. Is there anything you want to add?
No.
So
all good.
yeah, we can highly recommend the Castilla Alcazar,
Yep.
especially the park view room. So I'll put a little video in here of me waking up this morning, and there is the park. In fact, if I lean over ever so slightly, I can see Voltron and Silver Star from my bed. You know,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
as a park nerd, it's wonderful. So yeah, that wraps up Hotel Castilla Alcazar, and hope you've enjoyed watching this one.
Yeah.